fluffy. Wow. Yeah, it's a good tail. So fun. Just a little love. Oh, Maple, you swimming? This is all I wanted. Oh my god.
Hello.
Hello. So we have some news. Our life's taking quite a turn that we didn't expect in a couple ways.
Yes.
And we had to share it with you. As you know, if you've been watching our channel, my channel, for a while, you know all about Maple and how she is our angel.
Maple.
Our baby.
Come here. So this is Maple, of course.
We've had her for 4 years and we are obsessed with her. And a couple weeks ago, we got a message from the family we got her from asking if we wanted her brother. We weren't planning to get a dog, another dog.
We were quite happy with just a single dog home.
Yeah. So we thought, maybe a sibling would be good for her and give her someone to be with her 24/7, even if we're not here. Someone she can play with whenever she wants. All the things the dog loves.
So the reason the family had to rehome him was because it was an elderly couple. They had 2 dogs of their own.
From Maple's litter.
Same litter as Maple. They were just getting a little bit too elderly to take care of both. That's why they had reached out to us to say, hey, we can handle 1 dog, but 2 dogs is just too much. We reached out to the family and we said, we've made a decision, and we decided that yes, we would happily bring the second dog into our home.
It was hard because we felt guilty about it, even though it was their decision. It's like heartbreaking to take this 4-year-old dog from their home that they know and love and give them a totally different life. So there was a lot of like guilt around it, but at the same time, we just knew that we were the right ones to give this dog the best life we could. We are obsessed with Maple and she has an amazing life, we think. I would be Maple if I could. So we're renting currently and we had to reach out to our landlord who was fine with it, but then it turns out the property management group was not fine with it.
Yeah, they had to go in front of the board. We had to like write up this whole thing and provide pictures.
Like a letter being like, this is why.
Fortunately, a day or 2 later, we heard back and they said that they had approved getting of the second dog. And so that's when we reached out to the family and said, okay, we're good to go. But then came the next hurdle. We live in New England. The dog lived in Utah.
Which makes sense because that's where we used to live and that's where Maple was from.
But we had to go get him.
I looked into some transport services and they're just really expensive. Without chartering like a private airplane, there was no way to fly him in the cabin of an airplane. He would have had to go in cargo. So really the only option was Steve.
I bought a one-way plane ticket and I got a rental car and I flew out to Utah. I didn't want to take a lot of time off of work either, so I was trying to do it as fast as I could. So I flew out a Wednesday after work, didn't land in Salt Lake until close to midnight their time, so it was 2 a.m. what felt like to me. I had to drive 45 minutes to Gentri's parents where I was spending the night. Got up in the morning, 8 a.m. we picked up the dog, went back to her parents for a couple hours just to let the dog familiarize himself a little bit with me and me with the dog, of course, and then we hit the road. I didn't make too many stops outside of getting gas or food or letting the dog out. So it was 4 days total driving. The 3rd day, I drove through just a little bit of Pennsylvania on Lake Erie. That was the 15-hour day, so I said I definitely gonna need a break. It just turned out to be one of the most beautiful spots I've ever been to. Because it was right on the lake, of course, there was a beach. And so I brought him out to the beach. He immediately went wild, just running and jumping and playing and having so much fun. It was a bit of a relief for me because over the last few days, all I'd seen of him was just kind of sleeping in the backseat of the car. And I was always worried, is he doing okay? Is he going to be adjusting okay? Is he going to like us? And like Gentri said, he had been living with his family with another dog for 4 years. And then a stranger, me, out of the blue, comes up and takes him away. But seeing him play on that beach was just an immediate relief. It was this immediate, like, he's gonna be okay. And then the next day was the day that we came home.
So we didn't want to immediately bring him into the house just in case there was any issue with Maple or anything. We didn't know how they would like each other. It'd been 4.5 years since they'd seen each other. So we thought it would be best if we took them to our favorite park that is close to our house, where they could be outside and have room to run around.
We were not expecting, but hoping that there would be this immediate recognition. We'd recognize each other's smells, and it was like, oh my gosh, my long lost sibling.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
No.
Unfortunately.
Been too long. Maple was very excited, but she was mostly excited because Steve was home.
I'd been gone for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
5 days. You know, they sniffed each other a little bit, but mostly didn't do a whole lot. But then after 15 minutes or so...
Maple kind of broke through his wall.
Yep. And they started playing, and it was great. It was such a relief. And then we brought him home, and that's when it was kind of like, wait, what?
Bringing him home, there was no issue. They were confused, you could tell.
Yeah.
But they weren't ever...
No, it was never... There was never any sort of aggression.
No.
Or anything like that. I think Maple was just a little bit more confused why there was a second dog in the house all of a sudden. Like, she was no longer the only child.
But
he settled in really, really quickly. I mean, he walked around for us, sniffing everything, but he got, pretty cozy pretty fast.
Yeah. He instantly was on the bed like, okay, we're going to sleep.
He was pulling Maple's toys out of the box, and
well,
Maple's
she was
like,
taking his too, so.
And I never felt like there was much of that panic of, oh my gosh, where am I? Where's my family? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this strange dog? He was just like, okay, this is my life now.
Yeah,
all
just very accepting of his life.
That was just about 2 weeks ago now.
The video goes up on Sunday, so 2 weeks ago today.
Okay, it'll be 2 weeks from when this video goes live, yeah. And since then, every day, they've just become more and more comfortable with each other, playing with each other more and more often.
Oh.
Well, okay, here he is.
Everybody, meet our new dog.
One of the things we did not say was coming up with a name for him was very, very challenging.
So we weren't sure if we should keep his original name, which was Cowboy, or if it was kind of like a new life, new name situation. We didn't want to like change too much on him, but at the same time, it was like, maybe it's a good thing. After a week on the road, Steve had decided that he really didn't want the name to be Cowboy anymore.
Cowboy to me didn't quite feel right.
It didn't feel like our dog.
Yeah, it didn't feel like our dog. Although there was one moment, I was checking into a hotel and I was in the elevator and there was a woman there and she asked about the dog, right? And I said, oh, his name's Cowboy. And she just melted over that. And we got off on the same floor and she ran up to her husband and she was like, I met a dog named Cowboy.
It was a pretty cute name.
Maybe we should keep it then. But ultimately we did decide to change it.
Yeah.
And we must have gone through 100 different names.
Oh, at least. I mean, I was using ChatGPT. I was crowdsourcing. People would suggest a name and I'm like, already been there, already thought of it. Yep. At first, for a couple days, his name was Hawthorne after Nathaniel Hawthorne, the Hawthorne bush. It felt New England-y to go along with Maple. Then a couple days after that, Steve said that's not right.
Yeah, I liked Hawthorne, but again, it didn't feel quite right.
So he suggested a name that's one of my favorite boy names, and I was confused as to why I hadn't thought of it. It just felt right, and that's his name.
His name is August. I don't know, should we do like a big neon sign? August. It definitely took us some time because they are very, very similar.
They're so
And there are a lot of times that one of them will walk up to me and I have to be like, which one are you?
Yeah, they look so much alike. They act exactly the same. They have all the same like mannerisms and
same
habits.
Noises, the way they growl, the way they pant, the way that everything they do is exactly the same.
Things that we thought were so unique to Maple are not. He does the exact same things. There are big differences, but at the same time, at like a quick glance, it's really hard to tell who is who. So yeah, now we have 2 dogs that look exactly the same, our little twins. So far,
he's been great.
He's been so great. He's exactly like Maple, who is perfect. So we have 2 perfect little angels.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very needy, both of them.
Very needy. So our plans changed drastically. We thought we have 1 dog. We love her. She's perfect. We are settled in this house that we're renting, but we're going to be buying in a few months. We're set in our ways here.
Don't ask us to change.
Yeah. And then the universe said, how about a second dog? And we said, okay. And then
the universe said, how about a big move?
Yeah, how about you don't want to live there anymore?
So we live in a townhouse and we were planning on buying it at the end of the year. And we'd been working with our landlord.
But then one day he came to us and he said, actually, I was talking to my financial advisor, I think, and they told me to not sell until next year for retirement. That meant that the sale for this house went from December of this year to July of next year.
Maybe. He said, at the earliest July of next year.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, okay.
So that meant, okay, we're just going to continue to rent with the idea that we're going to purchase it eventually. Our deposit was due on September 15th. He emailed us like a few days before that. A reminder, your deposit is due. And we said, yes, we know. And then the next day he emailed us and said, just kidding, I'm not going to sell.
It was the same day.
It was the same day?
It was the morning he emailed us and said, hey, don't forget about the deposit. And then that afternoon, he said, just kidding.
I'm not going to sell until next year.
I'm not going to sell till next year.
And so, I mean, that saved us our deposit.
So unfortunately, we hadn't paid anything.
But then
almost immediately after, this company that I had been working with in the past reached out to me and said, hey, do you want a job? And I said, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, we were settled. We had one dog. We were going to buy this townhouse. You were good in your career.
And then all of a sudden, just everything changed. And it happened very, very quickly. So within the matter of, I think, 3 weeks, it went from potential job offer to me accepting the position, and a second dog. Thought about it long and hard, and it's going to require us to move.
Yeah.
So,
we love this area, which is the biggest bummer, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a really wonderful place, and I don't want to leave it, but everything has just kind of fallen into our laps over the last month or so. It just all kind of feels like the right thing to do. Just the universe being like, and this is your next step.
You need a second dog, and you need a new job, and you need a new house.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're not moving very far. My new job is about 2 hours away from where we currently live, so it's not much of a move.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going cross country again.
No, thank goodness.
But it will be a whole new area. We just recently started talking to a lender and a real estate agent.
Yep.
The area around it, it's basically just woods and like tiny little towns.
Yeah, there's just nothing.
Not a lot of big towns around, which unfortunately does mean that, if we need to go shopping, it's going to be bit of a long haul. I'm going
to enter my trad wife era, home cooking and homemade bread and all of that. So now that this video's out, I can start honestly packing up things we don't need, selling things we don't need. We're going to start looking for a house pretty soon, honestly.
Like I did say, it's like a 2-hour commute each way.
If he's driving from here to work, that's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours. So we're definitely going to try to find a house,
as soon as we can.
In the near future, so I don't have to do that drive every day. I mean, if you've ever moved, you know how it is. Like any little thing that you've been holding on to for whatever
get rid
reason,
of it.
Nope, get rid of it. Clear it out.
Even though we're not moving far, it still feels like a need to purge.
Yes. Yeah.
As far as my business goes, I don't really know. It'll be on pause. I mean, I'll still continue at least through this month because I don't want to be bringing in too much inventory while we're also trying to downsize. It's kind of this weird limbo phase for me. So my business, I'll still be doing content and all of that, but as far as selling, I think it'll be kind of on pause. I invited my shop friends in the area to come over and shop my inventory so I don't have to move it. Just make it as easy a transition as possible and then reevaluate once we're settled.
I think a lot of it will depend on what kind of house we move into or what kind of living situation
hopefully there's
we move
room
into.
for me to have a business. I don't know.
I'm hopeful we can find something that's a little bit bigger than this current house. Like Gentri said, it's a good size for 2 people but with Gentri's business, with my hobbies, with everything else, it's feeling a little cramped.
I mean, I've talked about having guests on this channel a million times, and I'm always we bought this chair so it can be a bed, because we don't have space for guests. And so we would ideally want extra bedrooms, so we have a designated guest room plus an office.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And then we only have 1 full bath, so 2 full baths would be amazing.
We're not talking about moving into a mansion here.
No, we're talking just little upgrades.
3-bedroom, 2-bath would be great.
Yeah, I know. And more would be great too, but we don't need 5 bedrooms, I'm sure we could fill it if we needed to. But
each dog gets their own bedroom.
We definitely have things that we're looking for. We love, but it's in an ideal world when you're looking for a house, right? Privacy, land, big windows, lots of light, character, move-in ready,
all for $150,000. Yeah, so it really will depend. And like we said, it is a pretty remote area.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's going to be a ton of options. But
there's some good ones.
We're hoping if we cast kind of a big enough net, we'll be able to find something.
And because it is a quieter area, I think we'll have better luck than when we looked here.
Yeah.
Because this is a very touristy area, and so there's a lot of vacation homes, a lot of rich people.
Where we're looking to move into is definitely not a
designation.
A vacation spot. It's unless you like the woods.
It's kind of like
nowhere.
between everything that you would want to
Yeah.
visit. That
We're
makes
hopeful.
it in our favor,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be going up against any strong competition.
hopefully.
It has been an interesting month.
Yeah, it's really all happened in a month, but it all feels right and good, and it's all just worked out. And that's the thing is, people have been like, well, how does it feel? And it's kind of like, I don't know, because it's all just
processed it.
Yeah, kind of thrown at us. But the more that we've gone through it, I think the more right it feels. It just feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for moving vlogs. We'll do house hunting vlogs. Hopefully it'll be a fun space for me to decorate because, we just finished this room. We just got window treatments specifically for this house.
I take it back down.
I know.
Hopefully a
So,
house just falls into our lap too.
yeah, someone will just be like, here, this is for you. And we'll be like, it's perfect.
Right, thank you.
So that's it for our life updates. I hope you guys enjoyed it and are excited for what's to come and to see more clips of August and our new life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Stay tuned for lots of updates and new things coming our way and more clips of the dogs.
Oh, gonna be so many clips.
Lots of clips of the dogs.
So much video of dogs.
Bye.
Bye.